Hey y'all, welcome to Together Real Bad.
Real bad. I am Beautiful with 3 L's.
And I am Ace with an A, a C, and an E.
We invite you to join us bi-weekly as we discuss topics such as pop culture,
relationship dynamics,
date night activities,
and maybe even a little flag football.
Discover how we nurture our growing relationship with intentional activities,
questions,
love,
and service. Subscribe to us on your favorite podcast app to listen
or check out our website at togetherrealbad.com.
And now on to the show.
She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple.
Hello.
Even though she drives me
Welcome back to our podcast, Together Real Bad, with Beautiful
and Ace.
Welcome back, guys.
This is our podcast.
Yes. Yeah. Welcome back.
For sure.
So it feels like it's been like a super long break for us.
It has. It's been a minute since we recorded, but we had some stuff in stock, I guess, if you will. And we were able to pre-record a lot of stuff, but now we're like a week out. So yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
It's feel like it's been a while.
For sure. Have a lot to talk about, I think.
We do.
Oh, yeah.
We do.
What we got?
So today we will be talking about dating.
Dating. Well, it's been a while since I've dated. Not really. Not even a year yet.
Wait. No, before we even get to dating, because I feel like that's going to be a whole thing. Okay. Let's put that off for a second.
Okay.
Let's talk about how, like, what we've been doing these past couple weeks since we haven't been recording.
Yeah. We have been enjoying summertime shy, that's for sure.
Yes, it's been lit, to say the least.
It's been dope.
For sure.
It's been real dope.
From festivals to concerts to
what else?
Musicals.
Yeah, musicals.
Trying new foods.
Outside, like at the pavilion, Pritzker Pavilion. What else have we done? We did a bike ride.
I was just about to say, we did a bike ride on the beach to like this beach restaurant, which was really cute.
Yep, it was.
I liked it. So far, this is the best summer I've ever had. So,
courtesy of me.
Dang, can I give you the props first before you start accepting? Dang. But yes, courtesy of you, because you are definitely a big part of that. And I actually really appreciate you. And I just want to say thank you for catering to my love languages and understanding me and what I need in a relationship and keeping things exciting.
Period. Because why the hell not?
Why the hell not? So I do want to talk to you about Hoochie Daddies.
Oh, Lord. That guilty pleasure. that mess. Of a guilty pleasure. Yeah. Ooh.
Hoochie Daddies.
Lord. Okay, go ahead. Which one talk about, girl?
I mean, first of all, I don't like low budget film.
And I love low budget film TV.
Right. We're opposite in that regard.
Yeah.
But I just could not stop watching Hoochie Daddies. Like, it was my favorite thing to do. Every time I got home, I was like, okay, let's go to the next episode.
And you are not lying at all.
Yeah. But yes, definitely a guilty pleasure. I think I do like the concept of it. I see where they were trying to go with it.
Yeah.
However, budget was definitely a huge hurdle. They just hadn't got together yet. So I hope that someone sees this show and sees the potential and picks it up, because I think it'd be a good, addition to my reality TV show lineup. Yeah. So y'all pick that show up so I can watch some more mess. I loved it.
I mean, I think so. I get trying to do video and audio, and it's a monster. And so I can understand not having the budget for it. So I do as well. Hope somebody picks it up and is like, yeah, let's try and make this a little, Netflix worthy instead of Tubi worthy. Not that Tubi is bad. No hate towards Tubi, but just so that it is more snackable, if you will. So like the mainstream people will want to try and watch it, because a lot of mainstream people watched Queer Love Ultimatum. I just heard people that were straight talking about it. So that'd be dope if if they got to pick it up. Like Netflix. Yeah.
Because I was tired of seeing the cameramen with the iPhones on the doggles in the back. I mean, come on. How you in the shot? Get back. I'm trying to see my baby mother.
Don't hate on them now. They tried. They did a good job for what they had. They worked with what they had, and that's how you start out in TV. I feel like you got to work with what you got.
I guess. Yeah, you're right. Sure. So those who are not familiar with the show Hoochie Daddies. So Hoochie Daddies is a show about mask presenting women coming into a house, and there is a competition that they have going on where the grand prize is a trip to Jamaica and a Hoochie Daddy chain.
I need that chain.
Why do you need that chain? I hope it's real. Like, because honestly, it's giving arcade realness.
Didn't we just talk about budget?
I understand, but they could have put that money that they used for that chain towards production. I mean, allocate it.
I mean, okay,
the correct way. Yeah, and I wonder what this Jamaica trip looking like. Is it looking like Rio Montego Bay or Rio Reggae?
What's the difference?
I mean, from what I hear, haven't been. We're going to Montego Bay next week.
Yeah,
but I hear reggae is more like ghetto. These are their words, not mine. Ghetto in terms of the crowd that tends to visit versus Montego Bay being a little bit more reserved. I guess like in the middle of super ratchet and classy. That's what I'm getting from the reviews that I've seen online.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, you got it.
I'm just saying. But no, it's definitely a show that I could not keep my eyes off of. And there, I did want to mention, remember I was saying that the host, her name is Woody. So there was this time where the basketball player was overseas and locked up.
Oh, Brittany Griner?
Yes. Yeah. And so they made this clip, this TikTok of them, of them like acting out this whole scene to that song, Stand Up. I forget the lady's name who,
it's praise dance, right?
It's not a praise dance, but it definitely looked like a praise dance. Just without the whole cape and, you know, anyway. So so they were doing this thing in the living room and it looks like the same setting of the actual show. So that just goes to show how long ago this was that they finally got it to TV.
It takes that long to produce and to edit and then to get it to TV. Absolutely.
Well, I don't know what the Real Housewives doing because they get that shit done in the summer and then put it out.
Billions, probably. I'm not gonna say billions, but they got a good amount of money into it.
No, they definitely do, but that should be moving. Like, I would have never thought that it took that long until you just said this, because the way that they be doing the Real Housewives and Married to Medicine and all those TV
shows. They got Real Housewives and Married to Medicine money. They do.
I was gonna say something, but I'm not going to. Anyway, so with this video, it's like Woody is in the middle and all the girls are surrounding her. Woody is pretending to be Brittany Griner, and she is in chains, looking super sad and just like helpless, and everybody around her are like her soldiers.
Marching.
I'm a soldier in the army. That's what they look like. Okay. Like trying to be like super like into it and like they're acting, and it's just like, you know the bad acting that you see on Tubi, they brought that to the show. So I thought that was interesting. But anyway, it made me think about that because I'm like, I know this girl's face from somewhere.
Oh, it clicked.
Yes, and it clicked. And it made more sense because one of the challenges that they had to do was like a TikTok challenge that lasted the entire season, where they had to have a video with the Hoochie Daddy theme song behind it, and the person who gets the most plays, I guess, and likes, most interaction, points, got like 5 points towards the end of the competition. So I mean, it definitely made sense because there were some TikToking motherfuckers in that show.
They were.
Ooh.
They definitely were.
But yeah, I actually really, really liked Hoochie Daddies, and I hope that they bring that back.
I am so surprised because I tried to get you to watch Zeus with the hot mess that was on there with the, what was it? The real bad boys?
Real bad boys. And they had more money to deal with. They was in mansions and stuff like that, while Woody was pretending like the living room and the kitchen and the dining room went the same room. Just like, I need everybody over to the kitchen. And she took 2 steps. Like,
I'm going to need you to stop hating on these. Hey, they out here doing more than we do. Okay? They are out here doing more than we do.
Not making fun of them. I just think it's funny.
Okay.
And I'm rooting for them. Like, I want them to succeed. I think it's a great show, a great concept, and I want all.
I think it's a great show. I think it is too, but I cannot believe that you do. But I'm sorry. Go ahead. I
want all parts. All parts. But anyway, outside of Hoochie Daddies, some other things I wanted to touch on were the LGBTQ rights.
So, there have been a lot of, I guess, call it motions to become laws. I'm not into like politics and all that, but I have noticed things going on, like it's illegal to be a drag queen in certain states, or
oh wow,
or I can't name all of them. That's the one that I was thinking of when we were kind of going through the show notes. But I just think it's really ridiculous that you can tell me that I can't, as a man or a woman, because there could be drag kings, dress up in a dress and entertain. Like, there's no, what is the harm in that? I don't get it. I don't get it. And it's really disappointing that people have so much hate in their heart for things that are not normal or things that they don't believe in. Like, they just can't let it be.
Yeah.
Right? I think it just is a telltale of where we are right now in the United States. And it is not a good place, especially considering we want to, not we, like as in me or us, but I should say people want Trump back in office. And this guy's got so many charges that are possibly coming up against him. It's sad. It's really sad. And I'll just leave that right there. Just put that out there. And like, I'm an advocate for do what you want when you want. It's your life. As long as you're not really, really are hurting anybody, like, why does it matter? Mm-hmm. Right? Why does it matter? So we'll leave that right there.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Another thing that I wanted to bring up in the show is, like, we received a couple questions from our viewers from our social media regarding TikTok.
Hey. Oh, okay, we back.
A couple topics questions that they brought to us that they want answers. Mm-hmm. I guess more so like our viewpoint on them.
Yeah.
One of the questions was regarding masculine women carrying or being impregnated.
Yeah. So I could never see myself pregnant. And walking around with 9 months worth of belly sticking out, and I can't run, jump, play volleyball, football, flag football, or do any of a number of things that I like to do to be active. Not to say that you can't be active when you're pregnant, because plenty of people do it. Mm-hmm. It's just, I'm sure it's not comfortable. So she basically asked, why is it I think her name on TikTok is Dawn. Shout out to Dawn. Hope I got your name right. She asked, why is it like taboo? And I think you kind of said it in the video that we kind of responded to her in, which was, it's almost like an episode of the Cosby Show.
Yeah.
Where they're like, the men are spitting out like different things, and it's just very jarring to see somebody that is masculine presenting, or even if you saw like a man walking around pregnant, it's just jarring because it's not what society is used to.
Right. It's not the norm.
Right. And anything that's outside of the norm, people just kind of shy away from. It wouldn't bother me if another masculine presenting female wanted to be pregnant. I'd just be like, oh, okay, cool. You know, they decided to carry, because maybe the person they're with or their wife can't carry. Mm-hmm. And so if that's the case, for them to be outside of their norm and want to carry is great. And I think also, just because a female is masculine presenting doesn't mean that female does not have the wants to be a mother and to provide nurturing.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean they don't want to provide nurturing to their child or be nurturing to another human being. So, but Yeah, bottom line, I think it's just jarring to society because it's outside of the norm. I don't think it should be looked at as abnormal. And I think it's a wonderful thing when anyone can carry and have a child.
Yeah, I think too, like people probably would be worried about what it looks like. I mean, like we said, it's not a norm, but like kids, for example, seeing that they're like super confused. Like, what do you tell them? I think that a lot of the conversation regarding LGBTQ lifestyles and everything like that conversation has to be had at home. Yeah. Because obviously it's not happening at schools, and it's like, what do you tell, what a mother or a parent has to be able to convey or explain in layman's terms to a child what is happening, what they see outside. Like, oh, Mom, I saw two ladies holding hands. Right. Why were they holding hands? What you gonna tell them? They just best friends?
No, I think
no, I saw them kissing. They kissed.
Yeah. So my best friend has 2 kids, and the person I dated, like not my last relationship, but the relationship prior, she had 2 kids that I was basically help raising. And so I think what I've picked up from those 2 situations, my best friend one, and then my ex, the other, is that at this point in life, you have to have age appropriate relationships with your kids. So when they're 2 and 3, they know mommy, daddy, right? But you also should tell them, hey, sometimes it's not mommy, daddy. Sometimes it's mommy, mommy, and sometimes it's daddy, daddy, right? And put into their head, like, that's normal. Like, because it is. There's plenty of same-sex relationships that have kids, and they raise them to be successful members of society. And so I think if we start off by having those conversations and normalizing those conversations, then it's not such a big shock when the kids see 2 women outside or 2 men outside holding hands and kissing, right? So it starts very young. Like we do everything else, why not normalize, people being with the same sex? I mean, it's a fact. It's a part of society, and it's our norm, Right. So it is normal.
Yeah, I think it's interesting too, though. Like, even myself now, I call myself like censoring us in our PDA when we're outside, because I remember at the beginning of our relationship, you didn't like PDA around children, and I'm used to doing PDA around children, but in a heterosexual relationship. So now censoring myself and how I feel about you and how I want to express that in public has now been dialed down a lot, because now I'm thinking about what are the kids gonna think and their parents if they hadn't had that conversation with them. So
and it's not, I don't like to do it, and I don't think it's fair to ask you to do it either, but just because I'm trying to be respectful of parents that haven't had that conversation, right? And I don't think it would be fair for us to just be blatantly around kids and they have to be forced into that conversation. So even like I fight myself on it, right? Like I want to just be able to like be around you all the time and kiss on you and touch you around kids. It's just a matter of, okay, it's like being around my elders. Like I'm always respectful to people that are older than me. Usually if they're speaking to me, I'm holding my hands behind my back. So I'm open. I want to hear what they have to say. I'm giving them eye contact. And that's just how I was brought up. And so I try to do the same thing, when we're around kids, because you just don't know what that family dynamic is. And you don't know if they're even ready to let their kids know that, hey, this is a norm, even though they may already know because they've seen it on TV. Yeah. Right. You just don't know the situation. So that's my reasoning behind that. And I cringe that we have to do it or that we do it, but I guess it kind of is what it is.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of TikTok questions, the next one, I assumed that it was specifically for you. I assumed that it was specifically for you, and it was in regards to how do you trust your lady meaning me,
right?
When she's used to dating men and now she's in a full-blown relationship with you,
right? How
do you trust her?
So I talked to Deidre. Deidre is the one who posed this question, is a friend of mine. And she first told me, it wasn't necessarily like towards you. It was just like a question in general. So, but basically my answer is that one, we trust each other, right? We've built a really good foundation of openness and trust. I tell you everything, you tell me everything, down to your exes in your inbox, right? And I'm fine with your exes being in your inbox. It just is what it is. And if y'all are friends, I'm fine with that too, right? So I think having a certain level of trust is one thing, and I don't think that level of trust is only for like, it's not only for like couples, like women couples, men couples, bi, gay couples, whatever. That should just be a basis of a level of trust that you have, period. Like you should build that from the jump.
Yeah.
The other thing is that I just said that we've had conversations surrounding wants versus needs. Like I can't be naive enough to think that you may have a need that needs to be fulfilled, right, at some point. And if that's the case, then that's when we have a conversation and decide what we do about it. Not like what you do about it independently, but because we've had this conversation and you know how I feel about the subject, what we do about it and how we handle that. And so, again, it's just about trust. It's about knowing your mate, and it's about trusting that, like, if they're like, man, if you ever like it, hey, I need
I need a fix.
Yeah, I need a fix. Hey, it's I can't provide that for you, but also I want you to be happy, and I don't want you going out looking for a fix when we could just navigate that like together, right?
Yeah.
It's funny, I was talking to a friend of mine, and we were just saying, or I was just saying to him, if people don't open their mouths about what they want, you never know what your significant other is going to say. Mm-hmm. You never know. You could be like, look, I love you. I love this relationship, but I just need to step outside for a second. What you got? What you think? Mm-hmm. And you might be surprised. They might be like, all right, look, do you, but come back. Come back. I don't want to know about it. I don't want to hear about it. Do you, and come back. And then let that be, what it is. But it comes back to trust.
A fear of mine with that is like, what if you go outside and what you was looking for was right and you want to go back to that every time? I'm like, nah, that's not. And then now I have to trust that you won't go behind my back after I say, nah, like you had your chance. Now chill. Like, how do you, like, honestly, I don't think I'd be able to trust that.
Yeah. I mean, but that's the thing. You have to have that foundation of trust. And if you don't, then you won't trust that. Or you may have trauma from previous relationships, right? So
I guess my thing with that is like if I was to give you an inch, are you going to take a mile? Because yes, we do have that trust, and ultimately I do trust you. So me saying this has nothing to do with our relationship. Yeah. This is like me and my past relationships, mine. Like, do I trust these
mofos
to come back? And any of the guys that I've dated, the answer would be no.
And that's because y'all didn't have a foundation of trust.
For sure, we did not.
So I mean, if you have that, then there should be no worries, right? Mm-hmm. But there's also a chance of that creeping into your current relationship because it is a past trauma, right? So sure. I mean, it's tough. It's really a tough question. It's a tough situation to navigate. But I think if you are open and honest throughout your entire relationship about everything, and I mean like absolutely everything,
the way that we are,
then when that question is posed, you set boundaries, and that's it. And I think the biggest thing between us is that we in each other's business. Like, we don't, like, I'll just grab your phone and it's nothing. And it's not that I'm going to grab your phone to look through your text messages or your pictures. Mm-hmm. My phone might be across the room. I don't feel like getting up. Right. So I just be like, all right, let me just look this up real quick. And there's no tension there. There's no, oh shit, she grabbed my phone. Like, right? And that's that trust. And the minute it's the, oh shit, she grabbed my phone, it's a problem.
Yeah. I mean, you even asked me, like, I think I mentioned to you, like, this is the first time I've ever been in a relationship where I've given somebody like my password or access to my phone. And you asked me why. And the answer is because, like, before I'm like, nah, you don't need to be in my business. Yeah. And part of that business was like somebody was out there cheating on me. So I was, entertaining guys in my inbox or, they were trying to holler at me, or, you know, whatever it was, it was because I was, I guess, hiding something. Yeah. And I feel like they were too on their end, because they wouldn't let me in their phone. So I kind of developed this boundary of like, don't touch my phone. Right. But with you, I don't have that. Right. Same here. It's a no brainer. Like, you want to see my phone? Go ahead, grab it.
Because there ain't nothing going on.
Ain't nothing going on. And if there was something going on, I tell you about it right away, because I think this shit is funny. I think it's funny, and we laugh about it together, and we move on
all the time. I want to point out an instance, but I'm going to just let that go.
Let it go. Let it go. Let it go. Yeah, let that shit go. We'll keep that between us. Well, we're gonna let that go. I think it's funny though.
It is.
It's very funny. I can say the conversations that come to my inbox are very entertaining.
Y'all out there know they are shared. If you listening and you've been in that inbox, I know everything.
The thing is that I've mentioned to people, like, I tell her everything.
I don't think they believe that. Moving on.
You don't have to get it together. Get your together. Get your... that's not, I don't even think that's the words of the song.
It's not.
It's not.
Don't worry about
it. Okay. Anyway, like you said, moving on. So we actually haven't done this. We haven't done this together yet. And we do need to do an updated search or a quiz for this, but the love languages, right? Yep. So there's 5 love languages, and our primary love languages are the ones that are your like top 2. All right. So my top 2 are actually, from the last time I took the quiz, are tied, and it's quality time and physical touch.
Yeah. Those are also my top 2. So that's why we get along.
But are yours tied?
I don't think they were tied. I don't remember which was up and which was down.
So, I mean, asking you now, which one do you prefer more of?
Oh, probably physical touch.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm that one that's going to be like, excuse me, and be in your shirt like that meme. Yeah, that's me.
Well, the thing is I feel like physical touch and quality time kind of go hand in hand.
They do.
Because you can't have physical touch. Oh, no, you can't. I was about to say, you can't have physical touch without quality time, but you can.
Oh, right.
So let me take that back. For me, in my world, physical touch and quality time kind of go hand in hand, because I feel when I'm, physically touching you, we are in each other's space, and we are sharing time together. So I mean, for me, it literally goes hand in hand, literally, for me. So I think that's why mine was tied. Okay. But at the beginning of the show, I even talked about like you catering to my love languages. And it's because we have the same primary love languages. So it really works for us. Right. I think that when it comes to dating, it is important to figure out what your love languages are, and see how and if you are willing to cater to those love languages. Like if you have it in you to, if someone is a receiving gifts primary love language type of person, are you able to do that? Are you able to provide that
expectation?
Exactly. Can you meet that expectation? If it's somebody who has quality time as their primary love language, and you are a workaholic, are you going to be able to give them that quality time that they need? Because if you don't, now you're neglecting them, and now they don't feel loved. Right. Are you able to receive the love that they're giving? Like, I feel like it goes back and forth a lot of the times with a lot of the love languages. So
yeah, I think it's definitely a quiz. If you're listening out there, whomever you are, that if you haven't taken it, take it, because it'll tell you a lot about yourself, and it'll tell you a lot about your mate as well. And it's a good basis to start building on what you're building in your relationship and what you have.
Mm-hmm. And then we could go back to the strong foundations part too. What does that look like? What should you have on the base of your relationship?
I feel like on the base of your relationship, you should always, like I've been saying, have trust, like trust and friendship.
Communication.
Well, yes.
Honorable mention. Yeah. Honorable mention, communication.
Yes. Yeah. So yes, absolutely. But I think like they're kind of all interwoven. Mm-hmm. Right. So if we have trust, that should mean we have good communication.
True.
Right.
True.
So if we have a solid foundation where I could just come up to you and tell you how I feel, which sometimes I do, and it hurts your feelings, and I'm sorry about that.
It's okay.
Okay. I just come up to you and be like, blah, and I just spit it out. But it's because through our trusted communication, we have created a safe space for each other where we feel like we can say anything and there not be a super backlash to it, like something that we just can't, like a backlash that we can't control, or like a bad one. And that was in previous relationships. Like I couldn't speak my mind because I was afraid of the backlash, and I'm not in this relationship, and I'm grateful for that.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, sometimes you do be hurting my feelings, but then I have to step back and like, okay, I know she's not trying to hurt my feelings.
Never.
And I need to get over myself and like take a look in and correct it.
Yeah.
Because if it's hurting my feelings, imagine what, like you saying that hurt my feelings, imagine what that did to you. And even though I could be sensitive, because I'm a sensitive,
be out here acting non-sensitive, trying to be hard as hell out here, and be like, I'm sorry. I just put you on blast. Don't worry about it.
That's okay. That's okay. Because what y'all don't know, even though she's mask presenting, she is definitely
I am, and I do not care.
She is very feminine at the same time. And I think it's hilarious because when we had that whole Instagram debacle conversation where our video went like mini viral because someone was arguing with us about the fact that she's mask presenting and how she felt as a child having to wear dresses and doing household chores and what that looked like for her, what she preferred to do over others. Like it became an entire thing.
Like ridiculous. Like when I say I've never been condemned so many times, never been condemned so many times for loving someone and being myself, which it blew my mind.
Yeah.
Never thought that post would have blown up like that.
If you are interested in seeing what we're talking about, feel free to go over to our social medias. We actually had a responding video to one comment in particular. So if you're interested to see what we're talking about, go onto our Instagram and it's the video that has over.
It's pinned.
Yeah, it is pinned. It's pinned at the top. So you can see what we're talking about. But it was basically a clip about how she presents and how she was always that way since she was a kid. And it turned into her being beat up and shot because she's masculine presenting, and there's a whole thing. Like people just did not actually watch the video and were commenting on people's comments and not making sense at all.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm gonna leave it right there because I could go into this. We could be talking about this for an hour, but I'm gonna leave it right there.
Yeah, we'll leave that right there. So again, if you are interested in seeing that, go ahead and jump onto our social medias. It's right there for you, pinned at the top. Moving on. So dating is the topic of the show. And we want to know, well, the first question that I have is actually not more so a question. I could tell you what I prefer now. Okay. So ever since the pandemic, like what did dating look like? And so dating for me was on social media. Like I preferred dating over websites than having to go and meet somebody, because some of you guys don't know this, but I am extremely picky when it comes to my mate, as far as how they look, how they talk, how they present themselves, how they dress, how groomed they are. And when you're on these social websites, you're able to pick and choose who you want and who you don't want.
Yeah.
And that's how I navigated dating, especially during the pandemic, because nobody was going outside for real.
Yeah.
And I actually met some cool people. I think I talked about this before. When I met an older gentleman. I actually was in a relationship with somebody from a dating website that I actually really cared for, but it didn't work out because he ghosted me. So like I said, they all the same.
Oh, I'm sorry he did that to you. I apologize for him, on behalf of him, or I don't know.
His loss, your game.
Period.
So I'm not really hurt about it, but at the time, like I was hurt. Yeah. And actually, he found me on social media again and apologized and was like complimenting me and all that kind of stuff. And and all that. I was about to say they always come back. They always come back.
To circle the block.
But the point is that like in this dating age, like or in this dating digital age, right? Yeah. Websites and meeting people through Tinder and Hinge and all these other websites, like I feel like that became really popular.
Yeah, I got a quick story for you. I think I told you I was going to tell you a story.
Yes. Oh, do tell.
When I was in college, that's when like this is like, I think I was doing like dating through AOL. Tell you how old.
I was on AOL and I wasn't supposed to be in the chat room. They used to be like, hey, you there? But would not put a punctuation. And so I'd be like, what does that mean? Hey, you there?
Oh I could understand how, especially with it being new.
Yeah. Okay. That. So anyway, not about me.
So I think it was like some sort of AOL like dating thing that they had set up. And you could flip through people and look at their pictures or whatever. And I was like, okay. So I found somebody that was in the Kalamazoo area. I went to Western Michigan and we set up a time to date. Cool. So this was a while ago. So things are hazy, but there are certain things that stuck out about this. Two things in particular. The first one, when we got to Olive Garden, because back in the day, Olive Garden, what? This is the shit. Got to Olive Garden. So I can't remember if he picked me up or if we like met someplace at Olive Garden and then like went to another place from his car. But the very first thing I noticed, which I should have left then, was that he chewed tobacco. So he chewed tobacco and he had his spit bottle sitting inside of the cup holder in the car.
Ew.
Exactly. I was like, okay. So I went in anyway. I think we had decent conversation, ate, came out, and we were like, okay, well, what should we do next? And, back in the day, it was like dinner, movie. That's really all there was. So we proceeded to go to the movies. I felt like I had to pay for the movie or my dinner or something like that. But we get into the movies and like he kind of grabbed my hand. I was super uncomfortable, but I just let it go. And watching the movie, and the next thing I hear is,
no,
this dude done fell asleep.
I would have walked out.
Snoring.
I would have walked out.
What? And yes, I did say dude. It was a dude back then. And so I was floored. I'm like, is this happening right now? I was so young that I was too timid to really like speak my mind or be like, yeah, I'm out. I was always concerned about what people's feelings and I didn't want to hurt his feelings. So powered through that. I think he was trying to go like putt or something after that. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and go home. And that was the very first time that I'd done any type of social media, like social digital dating, and it was terrible.
Was he at least attractive?
His picture was way better looking than he was in person. He was catfish a little bit.
Ew.
Yeah, a little bit.
Hate those. Hate those.
Yeah, needless to say, he tried to contact me after that and ghost. That was it for him. So that was my first time doing, and this was probably circa 2005, 6, somewhere around there. Yeah, a mess.
So do you find dating back then in your, how old were you then?
20s.
In your 20s. Do you find that dating back then is a lot different, or how different? Because it is different, of course. How different is it to dating now?
It's different, one, because I'm dating females right now, right? So that's one big major difference. But if we're just talking about the basics, back in my 20s, more often than not, you were dating people that you had at least like had some sort of interaction with or knew through someone. There wasn't really, like, text messaging was kind of new. And so if you wanted to have a conversation, you had to actually use the phone. That was one thing. Secondly, there didn't seem to be as much to do. And so that's why I was like dinner and a movie all the time, which is super boring.
Yeah.
And third,
we don't even do that now.
I know, yeah, we don't. Third, it's different because people want to, back then people wanted to like be in your space more, to get to know you. Whereas I feel like now people are trying to get a vibe through text. And that's
so hard. You can't even tell tone through text.
You can't, but I mean, you can emote, but it's not the same thing. People want to actually be in your space and get to know you. And so you would go out on several different dates. Even if you had just like, if you met them in passing or you were playing sports or whatever it was, because when I was dating in college, I was dating athletes because we understood.
Right.
And that's who you were around.
Yes.
So that was actually probably the first time I had dated outside of an athlete was the guy I was telling you about. So
you never catch an athlete for real, like chewing tobacco like that. Not in school.
There was a football player that sat next to me in one of my classes, and he would chew and spit into a Coke bottle.
Oh,
it's
no.
Disgusting.
Ew, I take that back. And I ain't never seen it. That wasn't my experience.
It's gross. So gross. So yeah, it's different in those ways. I don't know if I like it better now or if I liked it better back then, because it's gotten to the point where texting is the norm. Like that's kind of how you date, and then when you see each other, sometimes it's hard to talk. It's such an effort to put forth conversation because you're just used to doing this right here.
Right.
So what about you? Not that you're too far removed from your 20s.
Right. For me, I think in my 20s, like I've always been a relationship type of girl. Yeah. And in my 20s, I was trying to find like relationships. And guys back then, I didn't really exactly know what age group I wanted to date. And so guys around my age were all trying to like play around and stuff like that. And it sucked because I would always get my heart broken because I fall hard. I fall fast. And the men were exactly the exact opposite of that. Yeah. And then when it came to females that I encountered, I was just scared to be in a relationship with them. Just because of the fact that like I wasn't sure of myself. I didn't know what people would think about me because I never shared with anybody that, I was bisexual at the time. And so exploring that was always scary to me. So I would have to deal with these men that weren't ready, and it kind of took a toll on me, like dating wise, to the point like I was not trying to be in a relationship for a very long time, even though I always ended up talking to somebody because I don't know, it just always happened that way. Yeah. Dating now, I encourage people to date multiple people at one time.
And I've never done that.
I've done it, but it wasn't open. Okay. Like it wasn't known to the other people that I was dating other people. And I regret not letting them know up front, like, hey, I'm dating other people. Because I wasn't in relationships with these other people, but so I felt like they didn't deserve to know. When I look back now, I feel like they definitely did, because it gives them the option of whether they want to continue on with me or not. For sure. So if I could take that back, I would. But that's how my advice to people today is to date multiple people at a time, because you find out what you want in a relationship faster, and what you're willing to deal with and what you're not willing to deal with. And I think you questioned me on something, like on our TikTok, the same type of question, I guess, or surrounding question. And I gave that same advice, like, girl, if you gonna date. But when I say date, I mean date. Like date.
2-3 guys.
Yes.
Men,
guys, women, whatever. Yeah. Dogs, horses. If you're going to date. And let it be known that you are dating and that you're not ready to settle down. And then when that time comes, you got the pick of the litter. You got the people who are willing to deal with you in your dating world, that when you're ready to, settle down, they standing in line.
How do you decide when to cut people off?
When they do something that I don't like.
So you date until one falls off, and then you just keep the two you got, or you pick up another one.
Or you pick up another one. Like, there's this whole thing. I've never participated in this, right? Like this whole roster thing. And like, how they have like auditions or this month through this month.
Oh, God.
And
I don't know
tryouts are this month through this month. And by the time you get to like Christmas, you have that like one person, one or two people that you're dating that it kind of comes official. Like, hey, you know,
cuffing season.
Yes, cuffing season. Thank you. Exactly. So you know what I'm talking about. So that's what I'm referring to. I feel like people definitely need to get up on that because that kind of sounds bad. That kind of sounds bad. Be safe. Let me say that. And when I say like dating multiple people, I don't mean like being sexual with them. I have this one friend who, you know, I asked her before, like, are you dating now? She's like, yeah, I'm dating multiple, you know, men. There's one man that, you know, we go out on dates with. There's another guy who, like caters to me or whatever. Or there's another guy, we're strictly platonic, but he's been around for many years. So we're like, we go out every now and then. I'm like, yes, that's the way to do it. Okay. That's the way to do it. So I definitely encourage that. Now me right now, before we got together, I was actually in a relationship, but before that relationship, I had sworn off dating for a while. And then here comes this man. And he like sweeps me off my feet at the time. And I thought like, oh, this is the one, you know? And then he did some fucked up shit.
Would you care to tell what he did?
No.
Okay, I'm just asking.
I don't want to go back to that. Not that I'm traumatized, but like it hurt because I honestly thought that, you know, he could have been the one. Like to the point where like my family loves him. He went to school with my sister, like all type of shit. Like he's already connected, right?
Well, dude, you fucked up. I'll tell you.
Yeah, you definitely did. But like I say, they lost your game.
Period.
So, in the art of flirting,
I'm gonna let you take this one because I have zero flirting skills.
You do.
And I'm okay with that because
you are not the flirter.
Sliding into inboxes has worked. Clearly.
That's because I was confused, girl. I'm like, what does she want?
I just got to play towards my strengths, and sliding in the inboxes is my strength. I have zero ability to flirt.
The funny thing about Christy.
The funny thing about me? Me being Ace. She just put my government name out there. It's all good.
What's funny is in my head, I'm like, don't say Christy because I know what I'm about to say next, right?
It's all good.
And I said it.
It's okay.
The funny thing about Ace is that what you guys see on like our social medias and everything like that, or even on our videos that we post and how we interact, she seems very, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. What is the word you're looking for? Nice?
Yeah, no, you are very nice. I guess what I'm trying to say is Ace is very shy.
Oh, yeah, extremely.
Very shy. So
painfully.
Yes. Painfully. So her going like sliding into my DMs is definitely on brand for her. But it confused the hell out of me because I'm like, don't she got a girl? Like, what's going on? I was very flattered. And my heart was racing when I saw, yes, racing.
Okay.
If you guys haven't heard the very first episode of our podcast, it talks about how we met in our very first date and how that very first date turned into a lifelong date because we're still dating. But go back and listen to that. I don't want to get into it, but yes, you slid into my DMs and I was very surprised. And whole time I'm hitting your ass at practice. Like that's how I was flirting with her. Like we're teammates. So I would always be like, ooh, I get to say good game. And I was slapping her ass because, you know.
Because that's how you flirt.
I mean, I wouldn't do that to anybody else. It depends on the setting. Like I flirt in different ways and I'm a natural flirt. Sometimes I don't even know that I'm flirting. Okay. But with you, I was intentional about like being able to, you know, hit you or whatever. You thought that me playing catch with you before practice was like something to me. It wasn't because everybody else was doing it.
Hurt my feelings. Because I was like, yes, we get to play catch. I love it.
Whole time like, man, all right, we done. My shoulder hurt. Like I was tired. Like it wasn't anything to me because again, like me flirting with her was more of a game. It wasn't something. I mean, yes, I meant what I meant behind it, but I understood that she was in a relationship and there was a boundary that I didn't want to cross with her. Yeah. So it became more of a game on my end, like, oh, I'm just playing with her, yada, yada, yada. And that was that. But flirting for me, like if I'm at a bar or something, because I flirt with my customers too. Like if you're a bartender,
then you probably understand why.
Then you definitely understand why. Like you make a lot of your money by interacting with your customers. And sometimes that includes flirting. And so I became good at that unintentionally.
Huh. Yeah. Okay. Give me a couple more ways that you flirt. Okay. If you saw me at a bar and I was sitting there and you knew it was a gay bar, it was a gay setting, right? I'm sitting there by myself and I'm having a drink and you wanted to holler at me because you know I'm not getting ready to come up to you. What would you do and what would you say? I'm
really bad at staring. I don't like when people stare at me, but if I see something that I like, I can't help but like double take, like keep looking back, like damn, or whatever. Girl. I'm definitely gonna walk past you.
How many times?
Twice, because I gotta get to where I'm going and I gotta come back. Okay, I don't want to overdo it now. All right. Upon leaving, I would probably be like, "Hey," I would say, "You're very cute." Yeah, I would do something like that, and I might like touch you a little bit.
And then you know what I would probably say?
Thank you, and then turn your head.
Exactly.
Why do I know you so well? Oh,
exactly.
Ain't that something? But I mean,
okay. What should I do?
I think you should play into it. Like, oh, thank you. Like, I think you're beautiful as well. Hey, do you have social media or something? Okay. That's what the guys do these days.
Hit you on your social media. You can't even get your number. Just hit you on your social media.
Well, I'm not giving my number out anyway.
That's true. But the thing about it, you can
social
always
media is
block
safe.
It.
Well, yes, but social media is safe. Okay. I feel like that's safe. So I would opt to give social media every single time. So I understand that. Okay. So if you ask me for my social media, girl, yes.
Hit me
absolutely.
Up.
And then when we're not talking, I'm stalking your social media because you're so fine. And I don't want to stop looking at you.
Are you going to do a like spree?
Am I doing a like spree? Probably not right away.
Okay.
I don't want to seem too thirsty.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to seem too thirsty. Okay. But I'm gonna definitely let you know that I'm feeling you.
Hey. All right. Right on.
So if we were, you said you wouldn't even approach me. So never mind. We didn't even go.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I'd be too scared.
Crazy. So what would you say like do's and don'ts for a relationship would be?
For dating?
Yes. I mean, I said for a relationship.
For dating.
Do's and don'ts of dating.
All right. So I'm not a guru by any means. But I think the don'ts are don't come on too strong, obviously. Don't I think on a first, second, third kind of date, I feel like it's a little inappropriate to bring up like past relationships, like things that have happened, because that might be too much too soon. No? You think it's...
I think a common first question, well, one of the first questions would be like, so when was your last relationship? And then you start piggybacking off of
yes, but not like I'm not just about to dive in and be like, hey, she called the police on me. Like, that's what I mean when I say that.
Okay.
That's a little bit too much. Then they're gonna be like, what in the hell?
This bitch is crazy.
Exactly. So that's one. That's two. If I had to do three, don't be cheap, y'all. Oh Lord, don't be cheap. And I'm not saying that you got to spend a whole lot of money, but like, take me to do something that you've never done before so that you know nothing about it. Whether that's like iFly, which is like indoor skydiving, or that Go Ape, the obstacle course thing. So those are two active things. But then if you're not being like really active, like go putt-putt golfing or go drive a race car or like go for a walk on the beach. Like don't sit and be sedentary. That's my thing. Like don't sit down in front of a movie or even dinner, because even though we did go to dinner, it's really kind of awkward to try and eat and talk and ask questions. So I think a venue where you can like sit down and really look at the person and understand what they're saying is perfect. So, but the do's, like flirting, right? A lot of like touching, and see if you get that in return, if they feel okay with that. I would also say, I think be creative in your dating. So basically, don't be cheap, right? But do be creative in what you're doing to date. If I had to put a third one on there, I would say do follow up. Do act like you're interested, right? Because if you try and play it cool, like I'm gonna play it cool because that's just, I ain't whatever. Like, act like you're interested. Like, hey, I had a good time. I appreciate you for coming out with me. Like, and be genuine. That's what I would say.
I would say my don'ts are, again, like how you said, don't be too forward. You come off like a creep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like nobody wants to be smothered on the first day. We already uncomfortable.
Oh, man.
So let's not do that.
Right.
Another don't be rude. And I know that sounds like
an easy thing.
Yeah, easy thing for you not to do, but don't be rude. Don't divulge too much information. Don't divulge too much information.
I like that.
I wouldn't bring up, like, I had this one guy on this first date that we went on, and he was like, "Oh yes, like I've dreamt of you, like already, you're supposed to be my wife." And and it kind of turns off the other person.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So don't do that. I would say a do is be intentional with your dating. So if you know that your partner likes sports, you may not like sports, right? But they like sports. There's a game coming into town. You can get cheap tickets. Take them to a game.
Yeah, I agree with that. And sit there and ask questions.
Yeah, and ask questions. It shows that you're interested in what they're interested in, even though you may not be.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's something that you learn about your partner, and you're learning something new at the same time.
All right, I like that.
All right. So be intentional. I think that cost-effective dates are pretty cool for first dates. So think of something that's not cheap, but allows you to have a successful date, but not breaking your pockets. Because remember, we're talking about dating multiple people at a time.
Oh, Lord.
Who has multiple people money
to spend $150 on women?
Exactly. So do cost-effective dates. So like you talked about walking on the beach. We took a date a couple weeks ago where we rode our bikes to a restaurant. Like rode our bikes on the beach.
$50, $60 maybe? Yeah.
To a restaurant on the beach. So it was something active. We got a workout in.
Period.
We got to see beautiful sights at the beach. Like, it was good. It was nice. It's not like a regular old dinner in a movie. Yeah. Like, that's so old school.
Oh God, I can't stand it at all. Please don't do that.
Super old school. Was that 3?
Yes, I think
that was
3.
Okay, yeah. So those are my 3 do's and don'ts for dating for right now.
Okay, I like that. Put a little thought into it.
Yeah. So speaking of dating, we like to do something that's called Tub Talk. We'll talk about that more on our social medias, but in our Tub Talk sessions, we get in the jacuzzi, we set the mood, and we talk about life and whatever comes up. It's our time to have like deep conversations and really get in tune with each other. Yeah.
Definitely creating a safe space to, like, if there's something that has been on our mind and maybe there wasn't room to say it, then that's the time to really say it.
Yeah, slow down. Yeah, for sure. Slow down, because during the week it can be super hectic, right. But when you get to the Tub Talk time, it's about that moment and being in that moment and hearing your partner out on certain things that they weren't able to bring up during the week. So we find that very effective for us.
And super relaxing.
Yes, super relaxing and important. So at one of the festivals that we were at last week?
2 weeks ago. Yeah.
2 weeks ago, we came across this Black-owned like self-care vendor called Q. And I had no idea that they even existed.
Me either. But that's how you find some good shit.
Some of the best vendors and products and stuff like that are the ones that you find at festivals.
Sure. Support local business, small business.
Exactly. So we decided to stop by their tent, and they had a bunch of like self-care things, and we thought it would be a good idea for our Tub Talk. So we're going to do an unboxing. So I already cracked open the box because nobody wants to hear that over the microphone. But we're going to talk about some of the things that we have in here. We will get a chance to use them, and we will talk about it in our social media, how like,
we'll do a review.
We'll do a review.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we did buy was the body tea. Do I show it in the camera? Does that matter?
Yeah, you can.
This one? What they do, what the girlies do? So it is Q. That's the name of it. I think it's an acronym. I'm not sure what it's supposed to mean. But this body tea, it comes in a jar like this. It's got some dried fruits, herbs, chamomile, and it comes with a reusable tea bag. So you fill up the tea bag and you drop it in the tub that you're going to be soaking in. And it's supposed to smell like super good, relaxing. Teas, yeah. It's got some oatmeal in there too. So yeah, all the things.
Can't wait.
And there's some other stuff in here. Oh, so I think there were 2 different boxes that they were selling. There were 2 different boxes that they were selling, and I think we got the date night box. I hope that's what we got, because the box we saw was black. Yeah. Well, hopefully they just ran out of black boxes. However, we wanted to find something that kind of took our Tub Talk to another level. The 2 different boxes, the way that the vendor described it was like, one is like a Saturday night box that you do with your partner. The other one is like a Sunday morning relaxing type of vibe. Right. So we went with the Saturday night vibe. And yes. Okay, so we did get it. So they did send us the right stuff. We were kind of concerned about that. So it comes with this ANWM. Not sure what that's supposed to mean.
A night with me.
Oh, a night with me.
Yeah.
Okay. So they ask you to scan the QR code and leave a review on how your experience was with it. It comes with...
These cards are like, I think these are like questions to ask your mate. These cards.
Yeah.
So that's fun, I think. We can ask in while we're in the tub.
Yeah.
So we got that.
Yeah. So
what else we got?
Did this come off there like that?
Yeah, it came off here.
Oh, okay. Because there's something missing from there. It comes with... Oh, this is upside down. That's why. I think. Comes with a candle. A Q candle. Smells amazing. It smells so good. With it's 2 wicks, and it comes with some matches and like this cute little container for them. So you're supposed to light that with your tea bag in the water. And they still gave us this little condom thing we not gonna need. I told them don't worry about that.
I'm sure the box is already made.
But anyway, it's cute. So it comes in like a keychain. The condom is in the back. You are able to open this up, and it's just right here. So I think that's super cute and very, very funny.
Be prepared.
Be prepared.
Exactly.
Anyway, but yeah, I'm excited to try this out.
Should we open these or just wait? We can wait. Should we read one? Open and read one?
Let's read one. Right. Let's read one.
All right, give me a second here. Let me get this open. Rip me out the plastic. Is that the song?
That's the words.
How does the song go?
I don't know. Don't ask me. I don't know what the kids
can make me brand new.
I don't know what the kids are listening to these days.
All right. Oh, in the car.
Oh gosh. Okay. Do we really want to do this?
Oh.
Okay.
Hey, this. Hold on. Can we use this?
I don't know.
While you're opening that, we also will be reviewing fur next time we come online.
Oh, I completely forgot about fur.
Yeah, fur is fur is a brand that specializes in like ingrown hair products and self-care products. And so I was doing an event for one of my businesses. The gentleman gracefully gave me some free stuff from their line. And so we're going to be trying that out. He may send more. And yeah, we're going to tell y'all how we like that, what we think about that.
Yeah, I'm excited to use that because I've always had issues with ingrown hair, being a melanated woman. So,
Me too.
yeah.
What we got?
So it looks like there's a bunch of there's some different topics in here, and they're rated from 1 flame to 3 flames. Okay. One flame is the naked truth, so it's sex facts. 2 flames is set the mood, so it's just recommendations. Mm-hmm. And then the 3 flames is positions, and it gives visuals. Ooh. At the end, it says enjoy. So there's some naked truth cards. There's some set the mood cards. Oh wow. Oh.
Hey, read one of these.
Oh.
That's why it's a Saturday night edition. No work for you tomorrow. Let's get it.
Okay, I'll take this one because I feel like this is not rated X like the rest of them.
Okay.
Well, just more on the
little less rated X.
Okay, so this one is 2 flame. It's to set the mood. And it says, set the scene, be someone else. Schedule a time and place. Show up as whoever the hell you want to be.
Period.
And enjoy the rush of taking a stranger back to your place for a one night stand. I want to do this. This is on my bucket list. That's so ironic that I pulled this because I was thinking about this the other day. Like, how cool would that be? We need to do this. Let me finish reading this.
Okay, good.
So, feel the joy of the rush of taking a stranger back to your place for a one night stand. A spontaneous role play can be thrilling and a good way to always keep it spicy. All right, Q.
You here for it?
I'm here for it.
Period.
I am definitely here for it. That's a yes. I feel like I should set this one to the side. We finna revisit that probably in the next couple of days because definitely
in Jamaica.
No, not in Jamaica because that's already gonna be an experience in itself.
Okay.
But yes. If so, we will be back on our social medias to review all the products that they gave us and also the products from Fur and give you guys an update on what we think.
Cool.
All right. Do you have any thing else you'd like to add?
Any parting thoughts? I got nothing. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Catch us again in 2 weeks, where Lord knows what we're going to talk about. But we're going to figure it out for y'all.
Yes, we finna go try this product. Bye.
Good.
She's pretty like a 4K sunset. Blue-eyed baby from the Midwest. Body so bad when she undressed. If I was your ex, I'd be upset. Little did he know I was up next. Big brown boy with the big flex. I know that you know I'm the one. She's stuck inside my mental. She got a body like a temple.